And welcome to this special edition of War Eagle Weekly. How we doing this afternoon, Josh?
Doing good, man. Talk about impromptu. This is impromptu.
We were wanting to start something. We got the news that Hank Brown is going to
Yes,
be
sir.
named the starter for the New Mexico game, and instantly I was calling you, texting you, trying to figure out how we can do this. I left work. I'm on lunch break just to do this. And dude, talk about an exciting announcement. I seriously almost screamed at work. I was so excited.
I was in the middle of getting a massage whenever you called me. I was like, "What the hell is my phone blowing up for?" I got like four texts in a row. Got a missed phone call. Got a voicemail. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" I get done with it. I'm like, "Oh shit! Hank Brown is starting over Payton Thorne, the team captain." I mean, it's pretty friggin' huge news, and I can't wait to see what we have in the red shirt freshman come tomorrow night.
And the thing is so if you didn't know, this news was broken by on three and put out there, and that Hank Brown and Peyton Thorne were both notified this morning that Hank was going to be getting the start. How is Peyton Thorne going to react to this, Josh? I mean,
Uh,
honestly.
I mean, if he looked like he was calm and collected last week on the sidelines after throwing four interceptions in a game. So he's probably telling himself that everything's going to be okay. But I mean, the film must have been a lot worse than everyone thought it was, especially for this to be announced one day before week three. So I mean, I don't think Peyton Thorne really has any options whatsoever, even if he doesn't like this news.
Right. And you hope that he's going to be there to help Hank Brown is what you're hoping for.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and he was voted a captain, so you at least believe that he has some of that leadership quality in him. But so man, it is. I have all these things I want to ask you. So with Peyton Thorne not getting the start and Hank Brown getting the start, do we see a dumbed down version of the offense? Is this going to be a good old fashioned Gus Malzahn run offense,
So,
basically? Do you think, or
um,
what?
I mean, earlier this week, Hugh Freeze told everybody, he says, "I promise you the package will not be that big when they're talking about this coming Saturday." So I would imagine it's going to be a yeah, dumbed down offense for Hank Brown. I don't think it's going to be like severe. I just don't expect to see a whole lot of home run balls at all. I expect to see dink and dunk for sure.
Honestly, if Peyton Thorne had done that against Cal, we probably would have won the game
Yep. Yep.
because the receivers were open. Yes, there was pressure getting to him, but that was because he was holding on to the ball too long. And so if it is dink and dunk, get the balls to the playmakers on the outside and see what happens, because we've seen this from Georgia. I mean, in that game against Clemson, uh, Beck was throwing 2 yard passes, and then his players were just doing the rest. Okay, you don't have to be this quarterback that can push the ball downfield to be successful. And so I'm okay with that. Get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmakers, and let's go to work, baby.
Just move the ball. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see the balls that are just dying in the air before the receiver is able to get a hand on it. Just move the damn ball. Just move forward. Don't stay stagnant. I'm okay with seeing that. And to be honest, if Hank Brown has a rough game, I'm going to be way more okay with him having a rough game over Peyton Thorne having another rough game.
I think we're at this point, and that was going to lead right into my next conversation topic. Um, Peyton Thorne. Okay, sorry. I'm not one that's always been beating the drum for the backup. I'm not one of those fans. There's a lot of those fans out there. I understand those fans and the way that they have felt, especially in the last decade. That's really been the case. But I'm not one of those people. But with that being said, we've seen everything we need to see from Peyton Thorne.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
there should not be a reason why we see him starting on the field outside of a ridiculous amount of injuries, unfortunately, which I don't. There, we've seen everything. We know what he is. We've seen an entire year of him. We've seen 2 games of him up to this point, 3 games this year if you count the bowl game, and he has just not performed under pressure. The man is like Sam Darnold out there for the New York Jets. He's seeing ghosts and he gets panicked and starts running. And I'm tired of it. And so, yeah, if Hank Brown does struggle, I'm okay with that. I can
Yeah,
live with that
absolutely.
because I feel like he's going to learn. And if he shows that he is learning, then we're in a good situation. Okay. I don't need my quarterback to be perfect. I wasn't one of those fans that was expecting us to go undefeated. I had lower expectations heading into the season than you did. But
Yeah.
we need better quarterback play, and hopefully Hank Brown can get that to us.
At the very least, it's going to be just a fresh start. At the very, very least, it's going to be something new. That's not something that we're not super used to. And hopefully, all these fans, after last week's game, Payton Thorne said that a lot of Auburn fans were sending him Venmo requests for the money they lost on all the bets for the game. And hopefully, if Hank Brown struggles this game, there's not the bum ass fans doing that to Hank Brown. I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. He's gonna have some hiccups. He's gonna have some learning curves. It's just give a redshirt freshman time, but I'm okay with not giving a senior time.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I even though we're okay with him making mistakes, we don't want him to go out there and throw interceptions. I mean, Mister,
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
no, we have a comment here, Mister ODR number 100. Nope. I hope they don't get in there and get nervous and start throwing interceptions. That's not what we want,
Yeah, that's
and
not what we
I don't
want.
think we I don't think we would be okay with it. But like you said, again, we're giving the younger guy an opportunity to go out there and show what he's got. And Hank Brown has that gunslinger moniker attached to him. He is
Yeah, he's
one
not
that
afraid to do it.
no, he's just going to
He's
go
not
out
afraid.
there and he's going to throw it.
Yeah, he'll pull the trigger, and that's okay. Like, that's something Peyton Thorne wouldn't do. I mean, we talked about it. Everybody else has been talking about it. Peyton Thorne is waiting for these receivers to get open instead of throwing them open. Hank Brown is going to throw you open. He's not going to sit there holding the ball for 2, 3 seconds too long, take a sack, or have to scramble. He's gonna sling it downfield, and wherever it falls, it falls.
Now let's talk this worst case scenario. Let's say they do go out there. Hank Brown does throw interception after interception, and it's starting to look bad. Worst case scenario, are we going to see Peyton Thorne at that point,
I feel
or
like
do
we
they?
would see Peyton Thorne.
So we're still not past this. And again, I don't want to see Peyton Thorne. I've seen everything I need to. I'd rather see growing pains with younger players, and it sucks,
Yes.
but it's got to mean so much more for us to have that experience. Now, in your opinion, Hank Brown goes out there, he lights it up, he is killing it. Okay, let's say he's killing it. How is this going to affect our recruiting of a Deuce Knight, of any quarterback that's out there in high school? Are they going to look at this and say, well, this dude's a redshirt freshman. Why am I going to go in there and have to worry about dealing with him?
Well,
Or,
I feel like if Hank Brown goes out there and just completely balls out against New Mexico, I think it's going to show these recruits that okay, Coach Freeze isn't afraid to make these tough decisions and put young guys in with limited experience, and he's going to let those players grow and make their decisions and make good choices, make bad choices, whatever it is. I feel like it's going to show these young guys that Hugh Freeze is okay with putting in young players. Started a true freshman at wide receiver for God's sake. Well, I mean, he's not going to be afraid to start a true freshman at quarterback if he's just that much better. The best player is going to see the field regardless.
that's the way it should be. I mean, that's the way it should be. There shouldn't be any reason why we had to suffer through as much as we did with Peyton Thorne. And I'm glad that Hugh Freeze is at least giving Hank Brown the opportunity. So
Yeah,
Hank Brown has a good week of practice. He showed something. He looks good in the film review session that he did with individually with Hugh Freeze. So we have that information. So do you think that Hank Brown is going to go out there and try to push it, try to show something, or does
No,
he let the
so
game come to him? I mean, what
so
is your
this
thought on
is
that?
this is my thought process because Hugh Freeze actually talked on this. He was talking about how he had his film sessions with Peyton Thorne and Hank Brown individually, and he said Hank Brown would say, "Okay, this is what needed to be done," and Hugh Freeze would say, "Yeah, that's exactly what needed to be done." But with Peyton Thorne, Hugh Freeze is like, "Okay, this is where the ball should go." And then apparently Peyton Thorne would come back with, "Okay, I understand that, but I feel like I could do this." And Hugh Freeze said he joked with Peyton Thorne, saying, "Well, I don't pay you to make those decisions. I pay you to put the ball where the ball needs to go." So I don't believe Hank Brown's going to go out there and make those kinds of decisions. He's going to put the ball where he knows his coach says the ball is going to go. He's going to, and if that guy's not open, obviously he's going to go to the next option. But if the play calls for a certain spot the ball needs to go to, Hank Brown's going to put it there.
So what you're telling me is on 4th and 2, rather than throwing the ball 40 yards downfield to a covered Cam Coleman, he's going to take the 3 yard gain down low to convert
Yeah,
it
for the
for a
first down.
first
Yep,
down. Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I
See now.
don't I don't think I don't think Hank Brown is gonna just go out there and do what he wants to do. He's gonna do what coach wants him to do and what the team needs him to do.
The thing is we've seen we've seen this already this year and last year. Peyton Thorne is a good practice player. Apparently, Hank Brown does pretty good in practice, but we as fans have seen Hank Brown go out there and be a gamer and actually, just like I said earlier, he's got that gunslinger moniker, and it's just went out there and just slung it around. Now, here's the thing: Hank Brown has never, at any point in his career up to this point, had an opportunity to start. At no point did he think he was going to be the starter. And so is he playing a lot looser and a lot calmer that way and taking what the defense gives him. At this point now, where he's like, okay, it's my time to shine, it's where I need to excel. Or is he going to? I fear. I have that fear, and every Auburn fan probably has at this point, to where you just fear that he's going to be a lot of the same and he's going to go out there and press and just try to do too much. I
I
just
mean,
worry about that.
I don't think so. Every interview I've ever seen of Hank Brown just shows that he has the team first mentality, not the me first mentality. And I never got that vibe with Peyton Thorne. It feels like whenever Peyton Thorne was having those interviews, he was putting a face on instead of being genuine. But I get the genuine vibe from Hank Brown in every interview I see him do. So I don't think he's going to go out there and try to put up just selfish numbers. He's going to go out there and put the team in the best position possible.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, the thing is we have seen Hank Brown get interviewed by Zach Blackerby, and he has always, for me, has always come across as a God fearing and just a wonderful young man. And I wish nothing but the best for him, and I wish nothing but success for him because that means
Yes.
that there's going to be a successful Auburn in the meantime. But uh, it just, again, man, I have that worry, and yeah, he might have team first, but I just want a good offense. I'm tired of seeing this lethargic offense out there every Saturday, year in and year out. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is; it's just nonstop. And it's about time that we start finishing this because I'm sick and tired of seeing these lower caliber teams go out there and put up offensive numbers. Auburn is one
Well,
of the most successful college football teams in the country historically. And we should be able to put up a modern offense. And hopefully, this is the start of us putting up these awesome offenses.
let's hope, man. I mean, the New Mexico's defense is absolute dog shit. It is rat ass, but their offense is going to put up yardage. They're going to put up numbers. It's gonna be a worse game than a lot of us want, but it's still gonna be fun. I think we're still gonna get the offense that we all want to see.
So, in your opinion, do you think we're going to see a lot of Hank Brown? Is he going to finish the game, or maybe in the fourth quarter, maybe at that point take him out a lot more than what we probably would have seen if it was Peyton Thorne getting the nod?
I
Or do
would
you
I
think
would
that they're not
say
going to show their hand?
I would say that would be a very big mistake, especially it being his first collegiate start. Even if we're just up by 40 points, I think it'd be a really big mistake to pull Hank Brown in his first collegiate start. I mean, at that point, you want to see what he does in those types of situations. When we're up a lot of points, does he go out there still play like the actual game plan, or does he go out there and start playing backyard football? So I feel like it would be a big mistake to pull Hank Brown, even if we're up really big. Let him finish the game. Let him go out his first collegiate start as a true blue starter and winner, and then go from there. Reevaluate the backups after that.
Okay. And the other thing that keeps popping in my mind is we saw after Saturday's game we had past Auburn players going to social media and expressing their disdain for Payton Thorne,
Yeah,
which rightly so they should. But we haven't seen anything come out publicly for players in the locker room, which I applaud, and I'm so happy that we didn't see that. But do you think how do you think that the players are going to react? Because they voted Payton Thorne their captain. And Payton Thorne has been getting hyped up not only by the media, not only by Auburn fans that run fan sites. I'll say it right now. Mike Kitchens out there from the War Report. He's been talking up Payton Thorne all summer long just because of what he's heard from the team and from the coaches. So we all kind of bought into the hype and hoped that he was going to be this great quarterback. Are the players going to take this as a negative and be upset that their captain is getting benched? Or do you think they're looking at it and say, okay, well, he might be good in practice, but he's just not cutting it? I just wonder what is the reaction from the teammates, do you think? How
I
are they
mean,
going to handle it?
I know after the game, a lot of players went to Peyton Thorne, sent him text messages and stuff like that, tell him that they'll always support him and stuff like that, which is awesome. You want your teammates to have your back and support you in those situations, but you got a lot of seniors on this team, a lot of juniors that are going to be looking to the draft after this season. They want to win. I mean, and if they're competitors, they see that the guy that they have out there captaining the offense is not going to put them in the best spot possible. So you can still support your teammate and have his back and continue to help him to get better individually. But at some point, you got to put those loyalties aside and go back to the loyalties to your actual team as a whole and support the new starting quarterback and show him like, yeah, we're going to catch the balls. We're going to do everything we can to catch those balls and put this team in a good spot to win. So, I mean, if there's any players out there that are like, no, I'm going to sit out this game unless you start
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne, then fuck them and
Whoa.
kick them
Okay.
off the
All
team.
right. But that's a little harsh. It's a little harsh. But with that mentality, as Auburn fans, we wanted Peyton Thorne to succeed. We want
Yeah,
our starting
absolutely.
quarterback to succeed. But the ultimate thing for us is about Auburn succeeding. And so with that, I don't think there's anything more to say other than hopefully Hank Brown is our starter for the rest of the year. Hopefully Hank Brown kills it and he's our starter next year. And with all that, Josh, War Eagle.
War damn Eagle.